Hey everyone, welcome to Get Your Life Back with Cheryl podcast. Now, for those of you who've been following me, I know I've been gone for a minute. I've been doing many things in the background, business wise, work wise, trainings. I moved into a new space. What else? I'm building my website over and I'm doing a couple of things. And I had a little health crisis, not like death or life situation, but it just put me down for a quick moment. And so I was dealing with that. So I am back. I was waiting till I really felt well enough mentally. That's what we're going to talk about today. Well, mentally, emotionally, and physically to get back on track so I can be consistent as much as possible because I would like to go back to my regular schedule of uploading a video either once a week or every Tuesday and Thursday. I had different type of videos. And then sometimes I do the occasional Wellness Mondays where we talked about it had to do with emotional wellness and how we approach the week. And a lot of people like that. And I would do that maybe like once a month or twice a month. Anyway, so glad you are here today. Today, we're going to dive deep into an exciting topic. I'm calling excited because we need to be really focused on maintaining our mental health. And so I'm going to title this 7 Strategies to Maintain Mental Health as an Entrepreneur. A lot of those of you who follow me are aspiring or current or seasoned entrepreneurs. And we talk about how to live life on purpose, but we also talking about living a life of purpose, doing things that you love to do, that you are called to do.
You can still get your life back. Get your life back. It's real. Get your life back. Get your life back.
And because I am a parallelpreneur, which means I have my daytime career job as a behavioral health clinician, but I also work as a life purpose coach. I am a certified mental health professional, among other things as well. And I also have my own natural product line of hair and skincare. And so balancing all of that, we know balancing doesn't really exist. I mean, we in the balancing act where we're doing this, but we're really trying to harmonize all of the things that we're trying to do. And so it's important to maintain our mental health. So maintaining our mental health, we know it's very important. As an entrepreneur, it is crucial for our overall well-being and the success of our businesses. And it can be daunting and very difficult trying to run a business, take care of our personal needs, practicing self-care and self-compassion, trying to build a service, trying to serve other people. And although we have more tools today that we can utilize to market and brand and advertise our services and our businesses, it has created more tasks. And if you are starting out or you are starting out as a solopreneur or your business is strictly you don't have the team to delegate certain tasks and responsibilities to, especially as a new startup business, right? And so it can be very, very challenging because nowadays we're not only marketing and branding our businesses face to face online out in the community, we are building businesses online, which is great because we get to reach other people that we would not necessarily reach locally. But with that being said, there's a lot more work to do using digital technology. And so to use all of these things, it could be a lot because we're trying to keep up with all these demands and we need to be really managing our self-care. So I really want to talk about 7 strategies to help us do just that. Again, because it's very important that we do so. So I have my little notes for you guys because I don't want to go off task, okay? And this is one of the things I do to maintain mental health. So I don't feel like I'm all over the place and there's so many things I want to talk about and I want to make sure we are covering everything. So those of you who follow my channel, you know me already. You know that I am a certified mental health professional, a certified life purpose coach, pastoral counselor, healthy relationship, and emotional wellness coach. So I've combined everything I've learned, things that I've gone through from my personal experience and from my expertise to reach more people, to also provide you with tools and strategies to help you not only live and operate in your purpose, but to live on purpose, because it's very important that we do so. What I basically do as a certified life purpose coach, I help you break through perceived barriers and propel into your purpose. I say perceived barriers because a lot of times we think it is the end all, we're stuck, we can't move any further. And that is only a perception of things. So I'm here to help you change your perspective and look at things in a different way, to look at things in a positive, forward way instead of a stuck way, or being at a stuck point that doesn't allow you to proceed or go forward. And even if it means you taking a pause and utilizing any kind of coping skills or things you need to use to maintain your mental health, then it's all right to do that. It is okay to pause and park to take care of your emotional, your spiritual, and psychological needs, because it's important. You can't even operate or do anything successfully without maintaining a good sense of mental health and staying emotionally regulated. And one of those barriers sometimes can be our unhealthy mindset, emotional dysregulation, unbalanced approaches to managing. So one of the barriers that can definitely put a dent, pause, delay, and all the things that we're trying to do is our unhealthy mindset, emotional dysregulation, and unbalanced approaches to managing our entrepreneurial efforts and mental health. I want to share these 7 strategies to really help you navigate difficulties and challenges, so that way you can find a good, healthy way of harmonizing all of the things you're doing entrepreneur wise, as well as practicing mental health as well. And so we're going to talk about those things right now. And one of the first things is we need to learn how to set boundaries and manage our time. Here's a strategy: establish clear boundaries between work and our personal life, right? Between work and your personal life. So that may look like avoiding overworking yourself by setting a specific time or our time frame or work hours to ensure that you're having personal activities and relaxation, because mental health is very important. So you have to prioritize you, and you have to prioritize mental health, your emotional wellness, because if you don't, you'll get burned out and then you just want to quit everything. So an actionable step is using time management tools. Use those digital calendars. Set some alerts in those digital calendars. This is what I do. Set scheduling blocks and be intentional about it, right? Because you have to be intentional about practicing mental health. Also, to communicate with people around you that you have put these blocks and time into place so you can cut out distractions. Number 2, practice mindfulness strategies and stress relief techniques. One of them may be taking out time to meditate and relax, shutting everything down. Sometimes I utilize, well, most of the time now I utilize YouTube. I'll put on videos that just have the sound of rain or relaxing music. It can be also music that I love: gospel music, jazz, gospel, soul music. Again, the sound of rain and other relaxation sounds that really draw my attention to that and get me to think less about anything else, like the things I have to do, the things on the things to do list that I need to forget about. So I've been really utilizing YouTube in that way. At work, even at work, I'll do it to take breaks, because I have sessions sometimes back to back where I'm working with people and I'm constantly taking in trauma stories and I'm helping people work through healing and all of that. So I have to intentionally practice mental health all throughout the day, maintaining, so that way I can fully attune to anybody that I'm serving. And I can't do that well if I don't practice taking a break, mental health break, quiet time, quiet, like quiet time, quiet moment. And I'm being intentional about it. That's the only way I'm going to be able to continue working in this field. Everything that I do, I am serving, whether it's in ministry, my life coaching practice, and my career job as a mental health professional. And so I am telling you things that I have to practice on a daily basis, because if I don't, I won't be good for anybody. And I have to attune to my clients, because they'll start to feel like I'm not present. And so they'll pull back and then we'll get nowhere. And so I'm telling you stuff that I do on my own. So some mindfulness techniques, some of you know a few of these tools or strategies: deep breathing, breathing into your nose and out of your mouth. Maybe a couple of seconds, you'll breathe in and you'll count to 5, and then you'll hold for 5 seconds. and then you release for 5 seconds. You're getting that oxygen to your brain, and all of that transcends into your nervous system, and it gives you a sense of calm and peace. And you have to get into the practice of doing this. I say this because some people go, oh, I tried the deep breathing, didn't work. And then I'll go, well, how often have you tried it? I did it once or twice. And then how many times? What was the sequence? How frequently? They gave up too soon. So they didn't even allow it to even work. So I'm like, how do you expect that to work? You have to get in the practice and the habit of doing it. You have to do it long enough for your body to start to relax and calm down. It is a scientific, physiological, biological fact that deep breathing helps to calm down your nervous system. It helps you to regulate. Once you calm that down, then you can work on calming down the emotional system in your mindset. But you have to put it into practice. And so I'm telling you to do the same thing. Don't, if you're trying a new behavior or practice, you have to do it. You have to get into a habit of doing it until you see the outcome. So you have to keep doing it over and over and over again. And it becomes a second nature habit to you. So I just wanted to put that out there because I hear it often and I laugh. I'm like, really? And you expect it to happen? Even with certain medications, sometimes it doesn't even work in your system until like days or weeks pass. And sometimes the doctor would tell you it's going to take several days or weeks for you to experience the results, right? The effect of it. So it's the same thing. And doing anything naturally, it is going to take a little longer sometimes. But deep breathing really works really well. So I just want you to do that. All right. So we was talking about 7 strategies to help you maintain mental health as an entrepreneur. And we're up to number 2, which is practicing mindfulness and stress relief techniques. And I was getting into the whole meditation, deep breathing, and all of those things. And the actionable step is taking a few minutes of each of your day, or at least every other day, at least at minimum, to practice some kind of mindfulness activity. It could be journaling, sitting quietly, putting on some music or white noise or whatever sound you want to hear, just to get your mind off of things. You can use grounding techniques so you can learn how to be in the present. Sometimes we worry so much about what we need to get done, what's next, until we're not in the present and we don't embrace. And that can cause a level of stress and anxiety unnecessarily. So learn to be grounded, feel where you are, acknowledge like everything around you. That's how you be present. Those are grounding techniques. If you want to walk outside and acknowledge the trees and listen to the sound of the wind and look at the color of the sky, or if you're near water and you listen to the sound of the waves, that helps you to be present in what's happening right now, so your mind doesn't travel too much down the road and start thinking about things that haven't even happened yet. So can you see how that can decrease a level of stress and worry in your life? Because even the Bible says, don't worry about tomorrow, what you shall eat, what you should drink, what you should put on. Tomorrow has enough of its own things that's going to come. But while you have today, let's live today. This is how you manage even your emotional regulation and anxiety. You learn to relax today and not worry about the next couple of hours. I'm not talking about things that's extreme and you got some crazy stuff going on. You got a plan. You got to go into survival mode. I'm just talking about generally every day as things go on. If you have the type of mindset that you worry too much, you're too busy up here in your head, then you need to practice grounding techniques to help you to stay present. So you're being mindful of how your thoughts and behavior can make you feel and things that it'll make you do. Panic mode, survival mode. Then you have anxiety and you stress. So this is something you can practice to decrease the level of stress in your life. Number 3, prioritize your physical health. It is challenging to do a lot of these things. I'm honest to say, I recently started working with a fitness coach because I needed accountability. I needed accountability to help me become consistent and committed to the journey of maintaining my health physically. Okay. I had a lot of practice, and I practiced working on that emotional and psychological health for a long time, even as a child, because I've gone through some childhood trauma, as many of you have. And I've learned with God and the people He put in my life, I know how to utilize, I have tools, and that's what I'm giving you, tools that can help me get get myself back together again, right? Heal, get myself back together, process, and live in the moment. Physically, had a lot of practice as well, but I had a lot of inconsistencies. And so I knew I needed to work with somebody to get me back on track. And then the goal is to continue on my own from there. But would have created a system, a routine of workout. So this way I can, you know, do it on my own, right? And part of maintaining our physical health is getting regular exercise, as I mentioned, having a balanced diet, adequate sleep as much as possible. Sometimes it's hard. Some of us may battle with insomnia, or we had to retrain ourselves. We got to learn how to retrain our body and systems to work with the, what do you call it, system? Just came to my mind, the circadian system. And that is like getting up when it's time to get up. It's like you are waking up with the sun. Daylight's up, you get up early, you do what you need to do, you stay active, you stay mobile as much as possible and active as much as possible. So the goal is to kind of tire yourself out, not in a negative way where you're exhausted, but I mean, you worked and kept yourself active enough so that by the time it's sunset, you're starting to get tired and sleepy and getting ready for bed. So you're working with the system. You're working with God's system, the sun and the moon and nighttime and daytime. And so that way your body would have been exercised and mobile enough to tell you that now we can go to sleep and rest and sleep longer hours. I'm still working through this, by the way, but we have other factors that come along. But for the most part, we have to be intentional at least to try and do these things that we need to do so that we can be our best self, and we can perform, and we can think with clarity, and we can retain information, right? Because of the more lack of sleep that we get, it starts affecting our ability to retain and recall and remember and all those things. So we just have to be intentional about everything. Adequate sleep, which is essential to reducing stress again. And it also improves our mood because a lot of you even experience if you don't get enough sleep and you have insufficient sleep, you become irritable and you short patient, less tolerant of stuff. and if you can think about, wow, mindfulness is also thinking about what you're doing, what's going on in your life, and paying attention to these things so that you can do something about it. So you're being mindful of, okay, I have not been getting a lot of sleep. The last couple of days, I might have averaged 3 or 4. This is what you're telling yourself. So I may be a little irritable. This is self-awareness. So this way you can check yourself and do what you need to do so that you do not project it, how you feel in your mood onto others. Self-awareness is key. Here's an actionable tip. You can schedule a regular exercise. Like I said, I'm doing routines. Whatever works for you that helps you, whether it's the morning, lunchtime, after work if you work, or if you got your own business, whatever. You can schedule your own time to work out within the 7 to 8 days. Okay? So that way you can get better sleep at night. Number 4, stay connected to social support. Social networks. A strategy you can use. Build and maintain strong support systems. Like I said, those could be your cheerleaders, your accountability partners, and also people to just be a listening ear. When you want to vent and you want to share how you're feeling, what you're going through, have people in place. So you may have to be intentional about networking to create a circle of people. Because I realize everybody does not have a community. And so you have to learn to build a community, which means you have to become more social if you're not. You're going to have to go beyond your circle, beyond yourself, right? And meet new people. Put yourself in spaces that will allow you to meet new people and embrace them as well. So for some of you, this is a new behavior for you, especially if you're introverted. You're quiet. You isolate. You disassociate. Whether you got some trauma that happened or you just develop a habit of doing it because your circle has become so small for different reasons. You may have moved, people pass, all kinds of things. You're divorced, you don't have any kids, whatever. And so you don't really have a community or tribe that you are a part of. But God created community because it's important for our development and it's important for our mental health that we have people we can reach out to, we can vent to, we can share life with. Life is not fun being avoidant, being isolated, and have nobody to share everything. You can have all the things, possessions in the world, but if you don't have anyone to share with, life is not fun that way. You may tell yourself that because that's been your reality or your self-fulfilling prophecy, and so you just go along with it and tell yourself that narrative that, well, yeah, I don't need anybody because but that's not real. That's not true. You just accepted that, and then, but if you really look deep inside yourself, you realize life would be more fun if you had someone that you could connect with and relate to. Who relates to you, you relate another human being. How about that, right? And so we need to do those things as well. So strategy, having a support community, friends, mentors, peers, emotional support, that's what they provide for you. And some help. You may need someone to help you achieve a certain goal. If you don't have any community, you have nobody to pull on to. So you may have to join entrepreneurial groups, networking groups, right, to have these type of experiences. You have to make it happen. You can go right on social media and join social groups. So it's easier today. You don't have to excuse because sometimes you don't know where to go locally. But you can go right online. There are, I don't know if there's millions, but there are thousands, I'm sure, of Facebook groups. You can peruse on Facebook for the type of interest or type of group you think you need to help you manage what the things you're trying to do in life, but also find a mental health group. There's a lot of health wellness groups out there, but you can pull on each other and help each other as well. So there's no excuse. You have to prioritize your mental health. And then find these groups that are beneficial to your overall well-being, and it helps you to stay motivated, boost your motivation and your inspiration. So you can create a list of short-term and long-term goals and also learn to celebrate your wins. So that's still falling under my list of, oh, I'm sorry. I surely went past number 4. I don't went to number 5. Okay, so let's back up. So I said connecting with social groups. Join entrepreneurial groups and forums. Oh, yes, okay, so I did do that. So let me just tell you, I'm up to number 5. Setting realistic goals and then learning how to celebrate each process or progress, each step, each win. See it as a win. This is practicing mental health. Want to know how? You learn how to embrace small steps toward progress. When you learn to do that, you learn to develop a spirit of gratitude. And you appreciate those steps and what it took for you to get. So when you get to the end goal, your overarching goal, you can look back and because you learn to be present in those moments, you will appreciate what you've gone through. And so we have to learn to acknowledge those as wins and celebrate yourself, right? You need to feel good about yourself. Your sense of self-esteem and gratitude should not be based on what other people think about your skill, because see, that can go in a negative direction. And so if somebody's not feeling what you're doing or who you are, and if you base your value and your self-esteem on that, you'll be up and down. So you need to learn to celebrate yourself and be happy in that. And that builds a sense of confidence, self-encouragement, self-motivation, a good feeling about yourself, good self-esteem, higher self-esteem, good self-concept, a good self-outlook about things. When you celebrate yourself, you learn to do those things. So break down short, and long-term goals, right? This helps you to do that as well, setting realistic goals. These goals should be achievable milestones so you can celebrate each process or each part of the progress. Set realistic goals and acknowledge your achievements. Create a list, like I said, celebrate those small wins, and reward yourself. You can do certain activities. You can engage in activities, do certain things as a way of celebrating yourself, whether that is some self care, fun activities, getting together with people, friends, family, anything that helps you to feel great. You should do that as well. So let's talk about number six. You're seeking professional help. Absolutely. Therapy, life coaching, whatever it is that's going to help you stay moving forward and also help you acknowledge where you are, why you're feeling the way you're feeling. If you do have a crummy feeling, you can have somebody to sit with you and process it. Where's it coming from? What happened? Did something trigger this thought or this feeling or this emotion? You have someone to sit with you. Sometimes therapy is just having someone to process stuff with. It's not always about seeking the professional for an answer. The answer can come up in you as you open up because you are in a safe space where you feel emotionally safe, unjudged, non judged, and so you can freely express yourself and just have someone who's listening. And they may ask you some questions, just so you can become self introspective and try to figure out where is this coming from. So the coach or the therapist is just, or the counselor, is just there to help you process it, giving you that space because sometimes we just need somebody there to kind of help us do that. And then you're good after that. That becomes your booster shot, okay? So don't hesitate to seek professional help, professional mental health support as well. A therapy or counseling can provide valuable tools, again, and strategies to help you manage stress, feelings of anxiety, feelings of low emotion like depression symptoms as well. If you are feeling overwhelmed or you're struggling with mental health, consider reaching out to somebody. You got so many different apps you can use now to find professional help. If you're looking for a trauma focused coach, I do that as well. I am a certified professional, mental health professional, and a behavioral specialist. I've done a lot of different work in different areas with coaching. And so you can reach out to me as well. I am here to help and serve in different capacities, but they all work together. Number 7 is engage in activities you enjoy that gives you a good feeling. It boosts those endorphins in you. It releases those chemicals from the brain, those hormonal chemicals, oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, like all of those feelings, those good feeling hormones that make you feel great. So what does that tell you? You need to start doing those things on a daily basis as much as possible. You're being intentional again about your mental and your emotional and psychological health. You are practicing self-compassion. What makes you feel good? You are not relying or you're not codependent upon other people or circumstances to make you feel good. You need to learn how to do it yourself from the inside, and that's how you do it. Engaging in activities that make you feel good, that bring you a sense of joy and relaxation, okay? Engage in enjoyable things that help you unwind, relax, intentionally reducing stress and anxiety, and then help you to maintain that positive outlook. An actionable tip could be scheduling time, again, for these hobbies and things of interest. Outside of work, please. That can be reading, journaling, painting, writing a book, playing a sport. You're prioritizing your happy. You're creating what do you call it? A habit of happiness. You're creating a habit of happiness, a habit of joy. Practicing these things, okay? Now, let's break this down to see how we can look at this in a realistic way. Example of routine mental health maintenance. Number 1, morning routine. Start your day with a light exercise. We're summarizing some things. Or stretching. I try to stretch every day in the evening. Spend a few moments in meditation and prayer. Eat a healthy breakfast that's going to fuel your body, not make you feel sluggish. Create a workout routine. You're going to set clear goals for the day and prioritize all of your tasks. You're going to use these time management techniques we talked about in tools that we have out there. Things like a Pomodoro technique, utilizing calendars, digital calendars, all these things. You're going to take regular breaks to rest and recharge. You're intentional. And then you can do a midday break during your lunchtime. First of all, have a nutritious lunch, take a short walk or engage in a relaxation activity, do some deep breathing, right? You're regrouping. Then there's the afternoon routine you can do. Continue working on prioritized tasks. What you can't get to it later. Okay? Don't drive yourself crazy. Check in on your support system, your network, whoever those people are. Again, deep breathing, mindfulness techniques, exercises, doing all of these breaks. And then your evening routine, reflect on the day's achievements and write them down. Sense of gratitude, a sense of accomplishment, engage in a hobby or spend time with loved ones. Practice mindfulness or meditation to wind down. And this is your evening routine, what it looks like. Ensure that you have a consistent bedtime to get adequate sleep as much as possible. I understand the life of an entrepreneur because we do a lot of things in the evening, in the morning, whatever, especially if we're working still. If we're a parallelpreneur like I am, you are doing a lot of these things around those 8 hours or 6 hours or 12 hours. And so I understand that evening time may be your time. You really are flowing in your, but you still can be cognizant and mindful of you need rest. So you may give yourself a time limit. I'm going to work between, while I'm telling you this, I'm telling myself this. I'm going to set aside 2 to 3 hours to work on this specific task, and then I'm going to stop. I'm going to get some rest. If I get up extra early in the morning, I can go back to some things and leave it alone until later. Or maybe you have the type of job, if you're working again, where you can have these breaks at work and you can work on some of the things for your business, or for your side business or side hustle, whatever you want to call it. And that way you can do two things simultaneously. And then maybe in the evening time when you get home, you don't have a lot to do, or you can just continue, but you can still feel like there's a sense of accomplishment. You've done some things if you have that time. But don't forget, a lot of those time means relaxing, mindfulness, all of that, right? To keep a steady pace. And so you are refueled for each task that you have to do. Think about that. Be conscious and mindful of recharging yourself to take on each task. So whatever you have to do to refuel, do that as well. And I'll go back to the healthy nutritional thing I meant to mention. Have drinks that refuel you. Have healthy natural energy drinks. None of this stuff that got all these chemicals and toxins in it. That can be smoothies with certain powders in it that give you natural protein or natural whatever, right? They keep you feeling good. What's the other one I was going to say? As far as juices, make sure you take your vitamins to supplement, because we're not always getting 3 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables fresh per day. If you are, kudos to you. I love it. So think of foods that give you energy, because we are eating to live and not living to eat. So be mindful of what you put into your body, so that way you know what, this is going to make me feel sluggish. So you can kind of start monitoring what you put in your body and how it makes you feel. So this way you can break these habits that are counterproductive in the things you're trying to achieve. I'm done, guys. Hope that was valuable. I know it was valuable to somebody, because somebody's not practicing these things at all. And sometimes we just need to be reminded to do these things. I love the fact that I'm able to share this with you, because it reminds me. So it's reinforcing my own need to prioritize and manage my mental health while I am working on my entrepreneurial endeavors in life and growing my businesses on the side. I also make time to have fun. I make a habit of happiness. That may be or may entail me watching some of my favorite shows. I'm a podcast junkie, but podcasts that help, that are beneficial. Even business podcasts, entrepreneurial, because it helps me. It's relaxing for me. I'm not stressed when I'm watching it. I'm getting notes. I'm feeling good about, like, oh, I'm applying these. So that can be a mental health break. Educating yourself. I also watch podcasts that deal with health, learning more ways to practice mental health, physical health. I'm watching more exercise tapes now, videos, I'm sorry, tapes. Oh, Lord, I'm dating myself. Um, Things to do with plant based diets, and then things that pertain into healthy relationships because I love those things. I'm passionate about learning those things and learning from other people. And so that's the reason why I love podcasts and in certain shows I watch on TV. I still watch some oldies, right? Because I'm nostalgic and that also makes me feel good and it induces endorphins. So you got to find what works for you, right? Okay, so I am getting off of this here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. If you're new to this channel, please join this Get Your Life Back tribe and contribute to the channel by commenting in the comment section. Share your thoughts and your feelings and your experiences. And who knows, by you sharing, it may give me another idea or, to come up with another episode that we can talk about something that you discussed in the comment section. We can have some dialogue about it, okay? So hit the bell so you can get notifications. So when I upload that new video, or when it goes live, you ready to jump in, you ready to watch and join as well. And I'll share some other things with you later that I'm working on as far as my coaching business, some courses, some events, some summits, some ebooks, and a couple of things I have going on, some blogs. So yeah, I've been up to a few things. I really have. But anyway, love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Get your life back.